rolling.
I'm rolling.
Go ahead.
Mr. Dern,
Yes.
you must be very excited about tomorrow, huh?
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
It's been a long time, right?
Oh, lifetime. No, I started riding in 1944.
Did you?
101 Scout Indian, the model 101.
101 Scout. Yeah.
A couple of them. And I just, but my family before me, my brothers had bikes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same kind of a bike, not the same one.
No, really?
That model,
So they were your older brothers.
Yes, older brothers.
So then you got interested because you were.
Well, you know, there's your family, they're riding, of course, you're looking forward to when you
Yep.
get up to bicycle when you get up 16 or so, and you get a motorcycle.
You had a lot of. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
There's 5, I'm one of 11, there's 5 boys, 5 girls.
Wow.
Actually 6, one died early age,
Wow.
child,
Yes.
so it was 5 and 5. My boys, 5 girls.
And you're from Newburgh your whole life, right?
Mountainville I was born.
Yeah, Mountainville.
Which is town of corner.
Right.
My school's up the hill. The church is up the hill, about a half a mile away from the house where I was born, home. And then, let's see, the church is there, the school's next to it, on Angola Road up the hill.
Yeah.
And then Pleasant Hill Cemetery is not far from there, so
It's a big circle of life.
Circle of life, right in Mountainville. That's something, isn't it?
Yes. So you started riding in 1944.
44, just, did this, that.
How'd you get your first bike?
I bought it from a fellow at a neighboring farm. But we used to all meet, all the guys and girls too, at Little Britain Grange.
Oh, I know that.
Square dance. All right, everybody was there.
The Grange
So
is still there, right?
Yeah, oh sure. But all the deals were made there those days.
Oh,
Cars were sold, bikes, cars, So that's where you make your money.
Did a lot of the farmers use motorcycles, like the Indian bikes, for farming? No. Or just for transportation?
But the thing in those days, it was your transportation.
Right.
You got a bike, it was a cheap thing, $75
To buy
You
one.
had a used Indian
Right.
or a Harley.
Right.
And
And-
whatever you start with, if you start with an Indian, of course you're partial.
Yeah. Well, your first bike.
Yeah, but I'm saying that brand.
Right. And back then, you had to license it, like, just like
Well, I
today?
rode for, I bet you, 6 months with no plate or driver's license. And the back roads then, or mountain area, and all the secondary were dirt.
Right.
And it was wartime, so you didn't have a lot of cops. So once in a while, I might run into a constable or something. Like,
Right. They didn't bother you.
well, he wouldn't bother you. You could outrun him. He had his own car. It wasn't a problem. But mostly you wouldn't see anybody. Mostly all law enforcement was in the service, like the war.
Right. 1944, you're
So
right.
I would say after 6 months or so, I kind of got around to it. Plate those days was $5 for plate.
Oh, really?
No insurance.
You didn't need
Plate's
insurance.
$5. And of course you drive with every second, no more than the car.
Right. Do you still have that bike or no? The first bike
I
you
don't
bought?
have that one, no. I have, of course.
You have one just like it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe more, maybe 6 of them.
No kidding. Jeez.
6 101 Scout, That's what happens.
Yeah, you get, it's like a disease, right?
Yeah,
It's infectious.
you get one, and if that's what you had, and then through the years I've been buying bikes in cars, trucks. My birth year, 1927.
Oh, right.
That's what you want, right?
Right. So how many 1927s do you have?
I got a Packard over there.
I did.
Model T's and A's. And a truck over here, maybe.
So you would buy them, you just buy them and keep them.
Yeah. But not at first, I was only a farmer. I worked on my father's
Right.
You'd get by. So, collecting came later when I was able to.
When you could afford to do it.
Yeah, but back then when you say a bike was $75, back in 40, whatever that.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
Right. You have a great story about driving to Florida. Now, I heard this story, but I want to see it.
yeah, well, there's two stories.
Can we hear them both?
One with Walton, they wrote that down. Gene Scott, that, I believe. Walt narrated for it.
Okay.
My contribution to that run, he owned a car, we built a trailer, and I supplied him with a motorcycle, so when we got down there, he'd have something to ride
Around.
on the beach, you know.
Right.
We went to Daytona, but we first went all the way to Miami. And, that's the lay of the land, see what's going on. But anyway, the Miami Herald was having a strike. The guy came over to us, he says, hey, how'd you like, you guys make $5 a day for picket? And I said, well, I'm not down here to get killed. Yeah, we're going to picket a couple of New Englands. So anyway, then we went back to Daytona, and we stayed there for a month or more.
Mm-hmm.
And, rode the beach.
And what year was that?
47.
47. When did the...
47, then we went around Christmas time or New Year's somewhere, so now it's really 48.
Right. And when did the Daytona, the motorcycle, the big motorcycle, what is that?
Yeah, well, those days, it was only, the race was on the beach and the first highway, the first street. There was no track like now.
No.
And there was no bike week, that's
Right.
nonsense. People came, it's true, but not like that.
Not like that. How many people do you think the first couple
I
times?
don't know. I remember watching the race up from a corner, I think the southeast corner, southwest corner, and just stood there watching it. And we just hung out. We went to different places where we go to DeLand. Figuring we're going to, guy said, go over there, you can pick oranges. We're not getting jobs there. They're not the same color as we are.
No, I understand.
So they just, Then we went, I think Walt went to, figured he'd work on a farm. But there's no hay down there.
Right.
It ain't like up here. There's
Right.
not a lot of, so we didn't do it, we just rode around.
Yeah.
Then he made a deal with the car, but he's got all that story. He's got it
Right.
more correct than I can tell.
Right.
'Cause he did it a year ago, and Gene's got it. So it's
Documented.
Yeah, they wrote it down.
Good. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But anyway, that was the first trip, and then I went all that summer. We'd go back in March. We'd freeze. He says we'll go back home. We're on bikes now. The trailer got sold. Car got sold. I said, well, we'll get up to Georgia, and after that we're going to freeze. Or didn't we? So
Did you? Oh,
March,
yeah.
middle of March.
Right.
Oh, so the time I got home, I lost him somewhere in Jersey. I can't go look for him. I'll be lost. So I kept going, and when I crossed, how I got into the city, somehow I got in a tunnel by mistake. Traffic, I couldn't get over another lane.
Lincoln Tunnel problem.
My motorcycle, Jesus, bad enough, right? And then I got in the tunnel. I'm in the city now. I know I got to go back and go get to George Washington Bridge.
Right.
17. So that was all right. I got across there, and the rain then was like,
Like
sleet.
ice. Yeah.
Sleet, yeah. Freezing, too.
Mm.
So I made it home without incident, didn't fall down, and none. I stayed over with the gravel and stuff.
Right.
The traffic was over. I went to 25, maybe it slowed like a dog.
Wow.
So I wouldn't fall
So you wouldn't
down.
go down. Sure.
So I got home, down Erie Road, and I walked in the kitchen. I was whistling Dixie or something, and I slipped on the linoleum floor, and down I went. my mother starts laughing. Yeah.
Made the whole trip
Yeah,
back
made the whole trip.
unscathed.
Nothing happened unscathed. And then it slipped on my feet were wet, from the rain.
How old were you then?
I was 20.
20. One guy.
Because June 47, like on that race poster thing there, it's on the 15th, and my birthday's the 18th. I was 3 days away from being 20.
Oh, wow.
19,
Yeah.
So I was 20.
What year did you really start collecting? I mean, really
Let me
get
see.
into it, you know?
There's a video of that, and we got it here at a meet at Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Harmony, a meet deal we had year after year. But anyway, they're there, and they got the world of I said, I got them. First, I had them 10 years apart, easier for the timeline.
Right.
I said, now I filled that in, 5 years apart, and then 2 years exclusive. And I said, I just went over there and I bought a 1904.
And what year was that?
That was 89.
In 89.
Yeah, whatever. I belonged to a club, and
Right.
we went to the meets, and that's where you see.
And everybody
the bikes.
mingles, right? and they-
Yeah, well, this is for sale, that's for sale.
Right. Right.
Didn't sell none, just bought and
Just
saved.
bought and saved them. Bought and saved them. So you've been collecting for 60 years, right?
Yeah.
Ted's been collecting for 40 years.
The first bike I stopped, and it used to belong to Indian Larry, briefly.
Right.
It was a 31 Indian Chief.
31.
31. I still got it. It's a part that I got. And it's got cast aluminum tanks,
Wow.
which Indian had those in Henderson.
Henderson,
They
right.
only two that cast aluminum.
Right.
Thick.
Right.
Indestructible.
Indestructible, right. It'll never rest.
So, went on. And then I just filled in. You hear the one you want,
Mm-hmm.
a year to get it, to do the timeline. I don't think any of them were built. Some might have needed something, but when you went to the meets and the flea markets, most of it.
Right.
I went to Hershey one year, that's a big,
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
yeah, big car thing there.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, a hell of a flea market, right? And I remember getting a rolling chassis. Now we're going along. And this guy down there's got an engine. So I said to the guy, I said, stay back, don't let him see that we've got the rest of the bike. He'll want more. He'll want more for the engine. So I bought the engine. 250 or something, 250.
Right.
But it was the one I needed.
It was what you
So
needed.
you could actually go around and you could build it.
Yeah. So you think there's still a lot of motorcycles hidden out there, Mr. Doing?
Well, there probably is. I think a lot of them, World War II, a lot of them got scrapped.
Yes, for metal.
Ted and I was looking for bikes upstate one time. And the guy said, gee, I had a 4-cylinder. He said, well, last week we scrapped the aluminum engine, so
geez.
we get scrapped.
Scrapped it for the aluminum.
So a lot of them went by the wayside, too.
Right.
So whatever was left, everybody used to say, oh, they're in a barn somewhere. Well, maybe not. It could be in New York City in a loft.
You're right.
Not
You're absolutely
necessarily
right.
in a barn. Everybody thought they were kidding. In fact, my brother had an older brother who worked for the USDA. So I said, Bud, you're in every barn and every shed for the animals. I said, maybe you'll find
A
an
motorcycle.
old car or motorcycle. Never saw anything.
Never saw anything.
No.
And I saw you have you have a gas tank up there with hatchet holes in it.
Yeah.
Tell us a story about that.
Well, while I was there working on bikes and engines and stuff in the back in a shed, I built a shed. And I took stuff off the tanks, in this case off a 35 Indian Chief, wasn't going to use them, so it was later, stuff later. And then Teddy had a hatchet or something, he shot 5, 6, and he shot, he went and cut it to him. I wasn't using something.
And you kept it.
Yeah, well, we didn't throw anything away. Not motorcycle related.
Right.
We didn't throw anything away.
And tell us about the black hole, the infamous black hole.
Yeah, well, that name come up from the club members. Said he buys a bike, but you never see it again.
Meaning you. You buy it?
Yeah, I buy a bike. It goes home, and you don't bring it back to show it or nothing.
Right.
And the other story was that he don't bring a bike. He buys one, shows it, and then takes it home. And it's gone in the black hole.
So that's probably one of the reasons why you built this beautiful museum, right? So you could show everybody.
Yeah, I could show the stuff because at some point when you got a few, you're thinking of that. And of course you like the machinery of it, and
Right.
you're a hopeless romantic in that sense.
No,
And
I
that's
understand.
quoted from the guy up there with the, what do you call it? It's up in Rhinebeck, the aerodrome.
Oh, yeah, the aerodrome, right?
They've said that about him. He collected old airplanes. A hopeless romantic. You had to have it, machinery.
Yes.
That's what.
So how many bikes are still in the black hole that the public has
I
not
don't
seen
know.
yet?
It's 40 for sure.
40 of them.
There's some are not together. Various stages of,
Now let me ask you a
a
question.
lot of them is finished. All 30 at least are.
Complete. All those bikes you kept buying, did your wife ever get mad at you for spending the
boy,
money on
well,
bikes?
That's a separate story, maybe. Maybe that's for one of them romance magazines or something. I don't know. That's because they felt it wasn't family money in a sense because we had, but some in the beginning it was.
For sure.
And then we'd be at a meet, and a woman come up one day to my wife and says, he bought another one. But, of course, she didn't know about it. It happened quick,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
He bought another one. Wow. Imagine that. Like, what's new, right?
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, well, she didn't know.
Right.
He bought another one. But I guess it got to be, I got notorious like that. Like, guys in the club would say, we're buying all these bikes, and we're paying a lot or too much, maybe in their estimate.
In their estimate. Right.
So anyway, and you didn't sell any. He says, maybe you know something we don't. I said, I bought it because I liked them. I kept them and I played with them.
Yeah.
So, it's like the stock market. They went up, not down.
That's what I'm saying.
It wasn't making any more.
Right. So at some point you must have realized, wow, these are valuable.
Like some of the early ones, I'm sure they went up 3 times.
Sure.
Their price.
They appreciate it.
And one time there was a lawyer here, Ted Uses, for the health union they had here. But anyway, he said, I bought some Harley stock. He said, yeah, well, sometimes that's not always doing so good.
Right, that's right.
So I said, I bought Russ. I pointed to the bike. He looked at me. I said, I bought Russ. It all went up too.
But yeah, it all went
I
up.
called it Russ, yeah.
That's right. No, you're right.
Harley stock. He thought that's cool, right?
Yeah, no, you're better off having the machines. God, yeah. How many machines are in this building?
Higher. They said 350.
About 350, right?
They said.
Yeah. And you still ride, too, right?
Well, yeah. I ride a 31 4-cylinder Indian with a sidecar. And for backup, I got a 33. They look kind of like red, and, not that much change in a couple of years. And I'm not above, like, if one's not running, I would take the plate off and put it on the other one. And we've done that years ago.
Yep.
You'd have maybe 2 Scouts, they're both blue.
Right.
And one's broke down, take the plate. No inspections those days.
Right.
And no, what do you call it? No, not even insurance. Those days, back then in the 40s.
What birthday are you going to celebrate? Coming up.
Yeah. What if I got one coming in June?
Now,
June 18th, and I'll be 84.
84, and you're still riding. That's a great thing.
Still riding, yeah.
Feels good, right?
I could ride a solo, but I should have kept on with a solo because in House Brigade, believe me, you take the sidecar.
A sidecar, yeah.
It's just flat, you know. Just you.
Yeah, I guess you gotta be careful with a sidecar.
Well,
too,
they
right?
say that. They overplay that. They say, oh, you got to turn a certain way. But only if you watch a Jew, just ride it sensibly.
Right.
And one way it's true that it won't go over the other way. Of course, it will pick up.
Sure, because you got the.
You know, yeah, it's the weight.
Right.
Comes up.
That's if it's empty. And
Huh?
it's
Yeah,
better
you
if there's
got
a person. Right?
passenger, you're-
Right.
or a sack of grain or sand
Anything,
or
right?
something.
Some kind of
sure.
weight.
But it's not a problem.
Yeah.
These guys, I can't believe I got friends of my age. He wants to get one of them 2 wheels in the back, you know, trike.
Trike.
I says, hey, don't worry, you can tip that over.
Yeah, I
too."
bet you could. Sure you could.
Like those cop trikes, you can turn them over.
If you go too fast around the corner.
Well, yeah, sure, you know.
Yep.
You can't lean, it won't lean.
No, you're right. You're right. So you got to be very excited. How many people do you think we'll get tomorrow?
I don't know. I said to Ted Lee, very few or too many overwhelmed.
Yes, yes.
One or the other.
Well,
Everybody said 200, 300. I said, no, I'm going to say not many
Or a
too
lot,
many.
one way or the other, one extreme or the next.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, I got a friend that he teaches that course there.
Oh, in the back, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to represent, but he does that at Stewart Field and somewhere down in Westchester or somewhere. But anyway, he's always going to this. I said about one thing, Lady Luck.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not going to.
Maybe you'll hit your head. You're right.
But if you don't hit your head,
You're all right.
yeah, Lady Luck.
Right,
I
right,
forgot that.
right, right. Now, when you would ride in the old days, did you wear leather pants to protect your
I
legs?
only wore them on the track. I didn't have any leather pants. I would have worn them. I had boots, of course, but not leather pants.
Right, right.
But on the track, of course,
You're going to go down, yeah, yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Look forward to tomorrow, having a good day.
yeah.
All right, we're good.
Looks good.
Yeah, that's great.
It'll be an ongoing